Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to another wonderful tasting with the Virtual Tasting Society. Today, we're taking a little break from whiskey and we're diving into some agave spirits. It's been a while since we've had some agave here in the club, so we're excited to welcome an additive-free. I always say if we're going to do agave, if we're going to veer off the beaten path, it's got to be quality. So today, we're joined by Cazcanes Tequila, well known for their high-quality tequila products. It's not often. Most tequila brands have what? A Blanco, Reposado, and Añejo. Call it a day, three expressions, right? The fact that Cascanes, we're tasting seven today, and there's not even their entire portfolio, really says a
Nope.
lot to what they're doing there at the distillery. And we have someone from their global brand ambassador team, Drake Cascanes. Wait, that's not your last name. Wait, Drake is here to tell us all about the brand, answer any of your questions. Today, we've got a nice intimate group, so feel free to unmute yourself and participate in the conversation. Ask the questions you have. We're here to get nerdy and taste some really good spirits. So that said, we're excited to dive into these. We have seven expressions, which is your core six, and then a special pour for the end. But Drake, please introduce yourself. Tell us about the brand. Tell us what we can expect and when we should start tasting, please.
I appreciate it, Vadim. You're amazing. So, yeah, no, my name is Drake. Not Drake Cazcanes. I wish that'd be really cool. My wife would be a little upset if I changed my last name to Cazcanes, but I digress. So, yeah, my name is Drake. I've been a part of the Cazcanes team for a little over 2.5 years now. Ambassadorship, education, training, tastings. When Vadim says global, he truly means global. This year, I've been very blessed to be in Dubai, London, Berlin. Next year, we'll see what brings to the table. But for us as a brand, Nick has kind of right, been around since 2017. It's not necessarily a legacy brand, but also not brand new at this point, right? So having been around the brand for 2.5 years now, it's been a blessing to be a part of a product that truly cares about every step in our process, from harvesting to production method to water source to bottling, all of that, right? I'm a veteran of the industry. Been around wine, beer, and spirits for the better part of 15 years now. Retail, bartending, sales. I kind of got a little bit under all the belts. I love it. I love it. I truly love all of it. But more than that, I love sharing the knowledge. I love sharing the passion. I love sharing the education. So for me, the more knowledge I can take in, the more I can share with all of you wonderful people here. So yeah, very excited to be part of this tasting again. Thank you, Vadim, for making this happen. We got some great tequila to taste tonight, and I can't wait, like Vadim said, to answer any questions. I very much am that professor, during teaching. Please interrupt me. I would rather have you just jump in with your question than wait till the end because everyone inevitably forgets their questions because we're drinking 7 tequilas tonight. So yeah, please, any questions at any time throughout the entire tasting, please fire away. Can't wait, and thank you all for being here. We're excited.
To start us off, what is the order we're going to taste in for anyone who's watching this recording at home and tasting along? We
For
just
sure.
we're going to do the three blancos, but I'll let you go
Yes.
over that, please.
Yeah, so going off of there is no I don't want to say there's an official way of evaluating spirits, but there is a general process that has kind of been chosen and understood to be not the right way, but the most appropriate way of evaluating spirits. And that is from unaged to aged, and that is from lowest proof to highest proof, right? So for us, we're doing a little bit of both of those, right? So for us, with Cazcanes, we have three blancos. We're going to start out with those. We're going to do our 80 proof blanco, our 90 proof blanco, sorry, 100 proof blanco number 9, and our number 10 still strength 108. So to repeat that, 80 proof, 100 proof, 108. 40%, 50%, 54%, and then we'll go to our age expressions after that. Typically, again, you would just go from lowest proof to highest proof, unaged to aged. But I like doing this way because then you can experience the base product that we all experience. And a little fun fact, I'm jumping ahead, but I like saying this. For all of our age expressions, Reposado, Añejo, Extra Añejo, the base spirit that goes into those barrels is our number 10, 108, right? So we're going to finish with that and then go into the age stuff, which is a nice little through fare in ideology and flavor profile as well. I think we had a question. Someone jumped in real quick here. I no, that's Tyler. Someone liked it. Okay, we're all good. I thought I saw a question pop up. We're all chill.
I was gonna say, I mean, I feel like I'm jumping ahead. I'm just excited, but seeing a tequila higher than
No, please.
10% is pretty rare. Like it doesn't happen very often. I think that's one of the big
Yes.
things that
Yeah.
the bourbon drinkers don't like about tequila is because to them it's too low proof. So it's interesting to see that the
Agreed. No, I
three proof
completely
levels
agree with you.
as like standard expressions. So that's
So yeah, yeah. So for us, we were a little bit ahead of the curve. So like I mentioned, we've been around since 2017. Our first production bottle we ever released is the number 9, the 100 proof Blanco. So I'd like to say that we were ahead of the high proof curve. Nowadays, every brand has, a high proof, a still strength, blah, blah, blah. It's becoming a lot more popular in the last 3, 4 years to have a higher proof Blanco. And even age expressions too. You'll see high proof repos, high proof añejos, still strengths, all that kind of thing, right? But you go back a decade and everyone is 40%. Everyone in Mexico was 35%. So some nerdiness here, right? So tequila, legally in America, the minimum proof is 40%. The high proof is 55%, right? So those are the legal requirements as far as what goes into a bottle. Now, still coming off the still, you can be as high as you want. Another brand I worked for, I was very blessed to try a tequila off the still at 140. For whiskey drinkers, that's chill. I still got this much left of my Coy Hill batch 141.3. I still got a little bit left, right? But for tequila drinkers, that's very unique. And so coming off the still at that proof versus going in the bottle, you have so much more dilution if your still strength is truly that high, right? So for us as a brand, our first initial product we chose being that number 900 proof. We chose that 100 proof because you get more flavor, you get more body, you get more viscosity. But with the way that we make our tequila, with our water source, with our agaves, with our production method, that ethanol profile, that heat is mitigated, right? So again, I'm jumping ahead, like you said, Vadim. That's number 9. That's our second pour. But our first pour is going to be our number 7 Blanco, the 80 proof. So let's all jump into that right now, if we have that. While we pour, I will talk about the numbering system. So I've gotten this question over a ton of the times, over the last 2.5 years. What do the numbers mean? What does 7 mean? What does 9 mean, right? So this goes back to the origins of Cazcanes. So when we first created the brand, we came up with multiple recipes across different production methods, different water sources, different agaves, right? So clay fermentation versus, with fiber fermentation or stainless steel fermentation or volcanic spring water or well water or multiple different, copper coils versus copper distillation, right? Pots versus column. Our favorite batch of all that we did was our favorite recipe was number 9, right? So we called our first ever Blanco in 2017 number 9 Blanco because that was our favorite recipe, our favorite batch. Again, I was not a part of the brand at this time. If I had been, I would have said, hey guys, let's call the 100 proof a 10 and then the 80 proof an 8 and call it a day. Nope, that ship has long since sailed. So essentially, nowadays, the numbers refer to alcohol content. So if you see a 7 on any bottle, regardless of expression, Reposado, Blanco, Añejo, Extra Añejo, it'll always be 80 proof. If you see a 9, like this Rosa I have with me right now, actually in our hotel, right? 9s will always be 100 proof. And then number 10 is our one still strength at 108. But there might be some 10 age expressions down the road. I can't confirm or deny. That is out of my control. But we've had multiple requests to have higher proof age expressions. So yeah, that's the numbering system. 7, 9, 10. So we're all drinking the 7 right now, yeah?
I noticed there's no ocho. What do you think?
Not yet. You never know. A 45% might happen. You never know. It might happen.
The nose on this is so vegetal, so
So
interesting.
to jump into that, right, to give some background on the production, on the style, right, where we come from. So tequila is generally produced in two climates, but 5 regions. So to legally be called tequila, it's made in one of 5 states in Mexico. 90% tequila is made in Jalisco, right? We all know that. Outside the town of Tequila itself, outside Guadalajara. But the other 4 states are Guanajuato, Michoacan, Nayarit, and Tamaulipas. So you can legally call something tequila if you make it in one of those 5 states. In Jalisco specifically, there are 2 regions. There are the highlands and the valle or the valley. You'll also hear it referred to as the lowlands. That's a little bit of a misnomer. As us Californians know, we are actually at sea level. The lowlands of Tequila are at 3,500 elevation. So they're almost 4,000 feet. That's not low. So whenever one refers to, the Valle as the lowlands, people are like, excuse you, we're at 4,000 elevation. We're not low. So the best distinction is the highlands and the valley, the Valle, right? There is a big distinction there. So highland agave grows at between 8,000 and 10,000 feet elevation. Valley agave is again 3,500 to about 4,000 elevation. The big thing there is like wine. So high elevation agave has to struggle to grow. It grows larger, it grows more intense, a lot more fruity floral components from those vegetal notes versus valley agave, earth, vegetal, soil, clay, pepper. Those are the typical flavor compounds you'll find between those 2 regions. Uh, Paul jumped in with something I just saw that, or sorry, Jay. Mineral, yes, nice sweetness. So we'll jump into that as well. My big thing is with our brand, how do you differentiate yourself in the tequila sphere? It's the fastest growing category outside of RTDs the last decade. For us, we like to say we are better than we have to be at every step in our process. And that first off starts with our water source. Our water source is very different. I think I mentioned earlier, 90% of tequila producers utilize well water or municipal water as their water source for fermentation distillation, which is totally fine. There's nothing wrong with that. The challenge with well water, it's very neutral from a minerality and pH perspective. And as we know with whiskey, what does minerality do to a spirit? It adds flavor and body. For us, we utilize natural volcanic spring water, the source, which is actually an hour and a half away from our distillery. We have our own 10,000 liter water truck that brings that mineral water, the volcanic spring water, into our distillery every time we produce because the minerality, the pH, the silicate, the magnesium you get in that spring water forms the basis, as you're tasting right now, of our Cazcanes Tequila, right? That minerality, that mouthfeel, that softness. Yes, sure, that's our very pristine harvested agave, but it's also that water source that we will never change. That's been a part of the brand from the beginning. We will never change that. Minerals, brine, agave, yes. Agave is a big part of it. So harvesting agave, what does that look like? So an agave plant, fun fact for all of you listeners, is actually most closely related to an asparagus. Believe it or not, that's what's wild. It's not, a what's the word? Everyone uses to coat their skin when they're sunburned. I'm blanking on the name.
Aloe.
Aloe. Yes, it's not aloe. Thank you. Yes, it's not aloe. Agave plants are most closely related to an asparagus plant. So when you harvest yeah, good job, Jay. When you harvest an agave plant, what you do, the maturation level is where the actual flavor comes in. So you've heard the term in whiskey, right? So the maturation happens in the barrel. Well, for tequila, the maturation happens in the fields, right? So grains, as we know, corn, barley, whatever that happens. Will this tequila be made? Michael, it's a phenomenal question. No, it will not, because it's not asparagus. It's close enough. Yes, you can get aloe at Costco. I love that. These comments are great. I'm so here for this. So maturation wise, right? So for tequila, the maturation for the flavor profiles happens actually in the fields, not in the barrel. So agave typically takes around 6 to 8 years to mature to a proper sugar content for evaluation and for fermentation and harvesting, right? So you hear a lot of people say like, oh, 7 year, 10 year, 9 year old agaves. That's all good and well. That's the days of the past. Typically nowadays you find the mature agaves around 6 to 7 years old. But for our brand, we care less about the age statement and more about the actual bricks level, the sugar content of the agave. We are checking, for example, with our fields that we're choosing from. There might be 25 rows of agave plants. We're checking the sugar content. We're cutting off, a leaf and actually using a hydrometer to check it of 20 of those 25 plants. We're about as close to hand harvested as you possibly can get, right? For us, it's less about the years and more about what the sugar content of the plant is, because higher sugar content means higher fermentable flavor profiles, more flavorful agave. So we look at generally for us 38 to 42 bricks versus typical standard is 30 to 35. More sugar content, more flavor. That's where you're getting that sweet cooked agave note, like we're talking about when these people are popping the tastings, right? That's natural. There's no additives, there's no glycerin, there's no nothing. There are three ingredients in our tequila: water, agave, and natural yeast. That's literally it, which is pretty cool. So I think we've all had the 7. Should we jump into the 9? 9. Okay, so let's jump into the original, the OG, the number 9.
And the 7, 9, and the 10 are
Yes.
all exactly the same, except bottled at a higher ABV. Is that really the only difference?
Exactly.
Okay.
Same production
side by
method,
side,
same
and
agave.
trying to figure it out. So it's all the same stuff.
Oh no, for sure.
Same mash bill, same agave, but just different.
Yes.
Okay.
100%. So it's same agave, same harvest, same production method, same distillation. The only difference is the final dilution, the proofing, as we know, right? That's the only difference. And a fun note, we can't use the spring water as our dilution, because if any of you have been to Mexico, the water there has microorganisms that don't hold on. Yes, small whiskey guy, ABV over proof, 100%. I totally get it. I'm right there with you. Again, being in London for BCB a couple months back, everyone's like, "What's proof?" I'm like, "Oh, it's ABV times 2. We can do this." All good. So, exactly. Yeah, monosome's revenge. There are microorganisms that are in the base water source across all of Mexico that Mexican nationals, their biochemistry is used to that. It doesn't bother them. For all of us lovely tourists, it destroys our systems and makes us have a very bad time. When you proof something down, if you've talked to Jack Daniels or Bardstown or any of these wonderful producers in Louisville, Kentucky, all area, it's distilled water. They use distilled water because distilled water is neutral. It's not adding any flavor profiles or minerals. So for us, as much as I would love to use the spring water to dilute it, we do not. We utilize distilled water as well. So again, only between those three blancos.
But pre-distillation,
yes,
you're using.
Correct.
Okay.
Because during distillation, that heat cooks cooks out all those microorganisms.
A little bit of protein in our. So this is technically for after the gym.
Okay. You joke about that, but I will say, if you put any of our tequila bottles in a freezer, like if any of you lovely folks have a bottle of Cazcanes at home and you throw it in your freezer, you pull it out 24 hours later. Number 9 barrel pick. Ooh, excellent. Love that. If you put any of the Blancos in a freezer and pull it out 24 hours later, they'll be floaties. They'll be white like floaties. And people freaked out about this. Like, oh, there's something wrong with my tequila. Has anyone here made homemade chicken noodle soup? If you have, and you freeze it, what floats to the top? Fat. The best flavor profiles, right? Exactly. Non-chill filtered. We don't chill filter anything. You're whiskey people. You get this. So when you freeze it, those lipids, the fat like literally they like condense. If you take your bottle and you shake it for a good minute and a half, done. They reintegrate. There's no issues there at all. But that's because we don't chill filter. Vadim knows it. You guys all know it. You're whiskey people. You know what you're talking about. So we like the number 9. Crazy difference, though, right? Between the 7 and the 9, yeah? I wish I could have some right now. Like, all I got is my Rosa over here.
We need to get some tasting notes from these professionals over here. What are you guys tasting?
Yes, please. Jane, you're behind. How are you behind? We've only done 2. Drink fast.
The nose is drastically different. Crazy enough.
Yes. Off the laser. Love that. More salt and pepper, more citrus. Yes. So typically, a lot of Valley agaves, you're going to have more of that lemon lime sweetness. For ours specifically, and I rarely do this because I think everyone's palate's unique, everyone's flavor profile is unique. When you drink the number nine, think of like pomelo, but specifically the pith, not the rind, not the fruit salinity. Yes, more salinity. But think of that like pomelo, like grapefruit pith. The appropriate amount of bitterness, but also some nice citrus backbone in there as well. As we're sipping number nine, right? As we're smelling it, I'll also talk about our production methods. So typically in tequila, there are three ways of pepper brine, long finish. Yes, kiss of sweetness. That sweetness is from the agave. Agave is a naturally sweet product. And I think that it's been conflated with a lot of additive program, additive products, products. Casamigos, 1942, Don Julio. You think of saccharin as sweet, but as we know, with whiskey, that's sugary and sweet are different flavor profiles. Something that's sweet is actually not bad. Something that's sugary, we have an issue. We officially have an issue here, right? So I love that you pointed out the fact that it's sweet. That's sweet agave. That's cooked agave, which is nice. So typically, these are not tequila. All right, Tony? What do you mean by that? Come on. Oh, those are not tequila. Yes, 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 for sure. More heat. Yes, yeah, naturally more heat, higher ABV. But I would say, as someone who's talking to a whiskey group, if you had a bottle and bond bourbon side by side with the number nine, what would you say is hotter? Probably the whiskey. Probably the whiskey. And again, I'm a bottle and bond fan. I love high proof stuff. I just think that with how we make our number nine, even at 100 proof, that heat is mitigated, right? It's that there's no harsh burn in your finish in your palate.
Here's a
I
fun
could
thought
be
for
wrong.
you on the number nine. If it's bottled at 50% ABV,
Yes.
um, have you considered leaning into the bottle and bond thing? Because it doesn't only pertain to bourbon, right? You could use that not denomination everywhere. So the question is, how many barrels are used in the
Yes.
blend of making number nine? If you use one season, right? I'm guessing it's a bonded warehouse as it is everywhere else, but it's also Blanco. Oh, you'd have to age it. Never mind. I take it back.
Well, no, no, no. See, well. Vadim, you literally hit on something that my counterpart, as part of my global brand ambassador team, Wayne, if you guys follow Drink with Wayne on Instagram, he also works for Cazcanes. We actually talked about trying to get the CRT to institute a bottle and bond basically plan, right, for tequila, whether it's aged or unaged. Because to me, now the CRT is also very intense. For example, you can't open a barrel unless they're present. It's very different from bourbon, right? You can drill into a barrel as much as you want, if you're there, but you cannot sample any barrel of tequila unless the CRT is present there watching you do that, right? So that's
They
what's
want to
hard.
have some,
But
right?
but but I think again.
I say because they want to have a sip too. I mean, if you're getting some, they want to get some.
Absolutely, they do. But like more so than that, I think a bottling bond program would be, or something similar, right? Where it's truly, hey, 2 years locked away. We're not doing nothing to it. We're letting it sit, whether it's a Blanco or not, right? Steel, glass. Like I don't care. I wish there was a little bit more regulation on some of the higher proof expressions. And now again, like I said at the beginning, high proof tequilas are a advent of the last decade, even then last 5 years, right? 20 years ago, no one had high proof tequilas. Mexico standards at 35%, right? So I'm all on board. I think that the CRT would potentially be a down for that down the road. But I agree. I think there should be a little bit more consistency when it comes to the aged product, not even aged, higher ABV products for sure. I like the viscosity of like natural, distillation, fermentation, all that process. higher alcohol content is going to give you more viscosity. It just will naturally, right? Now, it's our job to mitigate the ethanol process. And so that's something I've not touched on yet. So after our tequila goes through its distillation process, it's also aerated. There's an oxidation process. So we take the base tequila, right, the ethanol, we put it in a massive stainless steel tank. If it's diluted, we put the water in there, right? And there's all so that at the bottom of the tank, there's an intake valve that connects to an exit valve at the top. And so we pump in millions of bubbles of concentrated O2. And what that does in going through that liquid mixture right between the ethanol and the water, it helps them mix first off, but also at a chemical bond level, it relaxes the bonds, allowing ethanol to be released. So that's why even the 100 proof, and as we find out here with number 10 here shortly, the ethanol is mitigated on the nose and the palate because of that oxidation process, which is very unique to Cazcanes for sure. Ready for number 10?
I don't know how you think number nine is so great because mine just evaporated from my glass. All the other samples are fine. This one just keeps like I don't know what happened. That's is black magic over here.
Oh, I love it. Someone's going to creamy note.
I think we're having internet difficulties.
Trying to be good. I apologize. I'm on my like hotel Wi-Fi. Hopefully
Yeah,
it's decent.
we've seen that before. It's all good. We understand.
Hey Drake,
Wait,
you
hold
should
on.
get Drake, you should get
I
Marriott
paid.
Gold status so that you can get the upgrade in the
Hey,
hotel.
I paid for the good stuff today. I paid for the good. I paid for the good hotel today. Come
You
on.
travel globally. You should have status everywhere. I can't imagine.
I should. All right. Hopefully we're better. We should be good now. Yeah, we're good.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Beautiful. So let's jump to the number 10, which is my personal favorite of all of our expressions. So comparatively, like we understand in bourbon, when you hear cask strength, right? There is no requirement, right? There's no like cask strength can be anything. It's kind of the same thing in tequila, right? So your max ABV is that 110, 55%. But still strength can be anything up there. Yes, Tyler, my guy. So I love our number 10 still strength because this is truly off the still. No dilution. It does go through the aeration and also it rests in stainless steel for about 3 months. So more relaxing, more mellowing. Obviously, no barrel influence. But to me, again, looking at our agave, how we harvest them, the process we take, right? High sugar content, very intentional harvesting methods. This is the epitome of what a valle agave plant should taste like. Soil, clay, earth, slate. Nice cooked, almost like marzipan sweetness to it, right? That's from the production method. I think the 10 to me at 54%, exactly 100% sweeter, 100% sweeter. Um, Country Time Lemonade. I kind of like that. That's really fun, actually. Spring Rain. Yeah, I completely agree with that as well. Even though even though there's no dilution, there's no water added to this. The 10 to me, even though it's 54%, just has so much complexity and depth and body. And at 108 is a very enjoyable sipper, right? Like we all, as whiskey people, we all drink high proof stuff all the time, right? Like I think one of my favorite whiskeys of all time is any of the Octomore series. I think I have 12.1, 2, and 3, 13.2 and 3. I've got 14.2. I love Octomore. I love Bruichladdich. Yes, one of us. Don't worry. Yes, one of us. But that's what's crazy, right? Some of those are 133 proof. Not a whiskey person. I love that. I'm an alcohol person. We'll do a little side tangent here. There is only one category of alcohol I refuse to drink, and that is anything black licorice, ouzo, anisette, arak. Nope, I'm out. I refuse. I can evaluate it. I can tell you whether it's good or not. You could give me a pour, and I could say this is well made or this is not well made. Jason, as a native Chicagoan, I have to say that Malort is a garbage alcohol, but if I'm in Chicago, I will always have some with an old style. Absolutely always. It's terrible. People who think they like it are lying. Oh, Jaeger's bad too. Nah, Jaeger's worth. Actually, I take that back. I'd have Jaeger over Malort. I would have Jaeger over Malort. Malort's. Do not let anyone fake you into believing. Not on purpose. Absolutely not on purpose. No, 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 no. Absolutely not on purpose. No, Malort's terrible, and the people who think that they like Malort are just people who like Fernet Branca. Jay, yes, a lot on the palate. Agreed. It's that, and that's my favorite thing is how complex it is. And I've said this for years across all alcohol styles. I will sacrifice, quote unquote, hate saying it, but smoothness, right, or easy to drink. I will sacrifice that for complexity every day. Give me something that's going to challenge my palate over something that's easy to drink. 100%. Because I have, again, in this industry over 15, 14 years now at this point. I love a lot of this. And don't get me wrong, are easy to drink things wonderful. But at this point in my life is too short to drink bad booze. I truly believe that. And so, Akavit, yep, right there with you. Garbage. Ugh, awful. I will sacrifice smoothness for complexity any day, 100%. I'm glad someone brought up Malort, man. Malort fucking sucks. Oh, yeah. Nah, not good stuff. Vadim, what are you thinking?
You're giving me
Over roast, wait,
flashbacks
hold
from
on.
when I was in
Over
Norway,
roast.
and every distillery I went to, they were like,
Whoa.
"You have to try our aquavit," and I'm
Okay.
like, "Sure, I'd love to, thank you." And then, yeah, but yeah, aquavit aged in a sherry cask wasn't bad. That actually was drinkable. I was actually like this close to buying a bottle. These
Jane, I
actually
agree. I agree with you.
so good. And
Okay,
they're
so
different.
Vadim, yeah, Vadim, comment. Tony, I'll answer you in a second. Vadim, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying that they're so different. It's the same spirit, just more
Yeah,
water. And
yeah,
what's crazy to me is the nose and the palate are drastically different. Is I get pepper and
yes,
all these vegetal notes, but then you taste it and it's like sweet candy. It's all that the sweetness from the agave coming right at you, with maybe a little
yeah.
like number 10 has the alcohol spice on the finish,
Oh,
kind of
for
like a red
oh for sure.
pepper spice.
Yes.
But none of the vegetal like grassy notes that I nosed on it. But for me,
Oh,
on
for sure.
the number seven was the most interesting. I feel like the nose is kind of hidden on the higher alcohol ones. But
I
the
agree. No, no, I completely agree with you. Number seven is the best nose of the three. I completely agree with you. Completely agree.
palate just evolves.
So
So fun
Tony
to taste them
asked,
all.
yes. So wait, hold on. So Tony asked, I saw that comment. I'll come up real quick. Hold on. What gives tequila a funky taste like chamucos? So I love chamucos. I'm glad you brought that up. The
What's
funkiness
chamucos for the rest
in
of
any
us?
tequila. Chamucos is a wonderful tequila produced in Michoacan or Jalisco. I gotta look it up. It's Chamucas is wonderful. It's got the devil on the bottle. It's very cool. There's still strength as a white bottle with a blue label. Love it. Very good stuff. Additive free. Highly recommend Chamucos. Actually, for you whiskey drinkers, their extra añejo for like 135 is phenomenal. Big fan. Big fan of that. So definitely try that. But speaking to the funkiness, right, that can happen. So a lot of tequila, the fermentation process is wild or spontaneous, right? And so with that comes malolactic fermentation, lactobacillus, yeast strains that are natural, that occur in plants and mold and the ceilings of a distillery, right? So chamucos is a wild distillation, right? So for them, they get that weird funk from the yeast. If you're getting a funky tequila, I will not stake my life on it, but 99.9% of the time, that's wild fermentation. We actually have had a couple bottles at our previous distillery where we did wild fermentation, spontaneous. We had some fun mallow experiments, right? You might have heard of our Hoven, number 9, the 100 proof Hoven that came out about 6 years ago. That thing tastes like a Caesar salad, anchovies and cheese. It's wild. It's very unique, right? That was because it was a winter fermentation, and lactobacillus, malolactic fermentation, happens in cold bottom fermenting yeast strains, right? So that was all natural. We are no longer wild fermentation. When we moved NOMs in 2022, we had to give that up, but we cultivated our own proprietary yeast, right? So while we lost that funk, we actually were able to maintain consistency and quality from batch to batch. It's that trade-off. I'm happy for it. Like, do I miss some of those funky stuff? Renee and Shashid, 5099. Yeah, Jason, Familia Landeros. Fun fact, Familia Landeros had no NOM number until we joined their NOM. They actually were just making agave distillate for the local municipality. Hoven versus Blanco versus Repo. Got that. I got you, Vadim. But yeah, 59.9, Familia Landeros had no NOM number. Don Chico was about to retire. They were done, right? We came in, we found the place, we got the CRT to give it a certification, we got their NOM number 59.9. And then we moved, Jason, as you pointed out, unfortunately, just purely because of production versus demand. And, Familia Landeros is wonderful. It's great. She and Renee are awesome. The entire distillery tour takes 3 minutes. It's tiny. What we can do in 1 week at our current distillery would have taken 4 weeks production wise at 59.9. All right. So that was a hard decision we had to make to move noms. But I'm glad someone brought that up because it was a challenge. It was, kind of our birthplace. It was where we started, but gotta grow some way. So Joven Blanco Repo. We will talk about the expressions of tequila, what they mean. So Blanco tequila, legally, is either unaged or less than 2 months in a barrel, or indefinitely in concrete stainless steel glass, right? No barrel influence. You can go as long as you want, right? One of my favorite Blancos of all time is the Fuente Seca 2013 Cosecha that was aged for 4 years in glass demijohns. Absolutely stupendous. One of my favorite tequilas of all time, right? So that's Blanco. Reposado, minimum 2 months to a year in oak barrels. Oak is the requirement, has to be an oak barrel, right? Any oak, Mizunara, uh, Hungarian, Tokai oak, teakwood, the South American oak. I'm blanking on it right now. Ambarana. It's all oak. Any oak barrel from 2 months to a year. Añejo is 1 year to 3 years. And there's a little caveat here for Añejo. It's still an oak barrel, but it cannot be more than 365 liters. So a typical bourbon barrel. You cannot get larger than that. For example, one of my favorite tequila brands, El Tequileño, does an expression called the Reposado Rare. It's 6, almost 7 years old. It's a Reposado because they age it in French oak pipons that are 6,000 liters. So it cannot be called an extra añejo or añejo, which is pretty fun. Moltini, Jace, you guys are killing it. I love your knowledge. This is awesome. Tony, Jason and I used to work for Tequileno, so I love Tony Saez. They're the best people over there. I love them. All right, so we'll get back to the age statements. So yeah, Repo, Añejo. Añejo is 1 year to 3 years, and then extra Añejo is 3 years plus, right? So the more barrel, the more age, all that stuff. Fun fact, extra Añejo was added as a category in 2014. Very recent addition to the whole tequila category. As we go into our age expressions, which is a great segue, let's jump into our Reposado number 7. And this is where I really love to get geeky with you guys, especially you whiskey people. This is where Cazcanes truly separates itself from every other brand out there. We like to say we age our tequila to taste, not to time. What that refers to is the bottle that Vadim is pouring right now. There's a batch number written on that bottle. Every single batch of Repo, Añejo, and Extra Añejo is a different blend every single time of both barrels and age statements. Every single time. It's different every single time. As whiskey people, you can totally understand that, right? Like that's what's unique, that's what's fun. And we like to hold on. 2701. Thank you, Vadim. Perfect. Tyler, my 10 is sample. Don't worry, I can send you some more. Um, so we like to refer to our barrels at our distillery as our spice rack, right? We have over 2,000 barrels at our distillery. And as you know, every single one of those barrels, whether they have tequila in them or not, they evaluate and change very differently. So between our master distiller, Don Chico, between our chemist, Nestor, between our master blender, Colin, who's also our co-founder, John Paul, our chairman of the board, they're down there 4 times a month, 3 times a month, tasting all, like not all of the barrels, but at minimum 100 barrels per session. Evaluating barrels. Oh, 313 has that chocolate note. 516 has that nice rich cinnamon note. Ooh, barrel 500. That's a single barrel. Let's throw that in a stainless steel tank to use a single barrel down the road, right? So we evaluate all of those barrels. So with every batch that we make, we blend to a flavor. Now, oh, we do keep a very consistent DNA, right, from batch to batch. This is not Fortaleza, where you have a batch of repo that you love and a batch of repo you go, man, this is fine, right? We are very intentional from batch to batch to maintain at least a similar through fare and flavor. But if you know what you're looking for, you will find some slight nuance. Specifically, Vadim, you called out our batch for this one, right? This is 2501, so 2025, batch one. Holy guacamole, I completely agree with you. This is a blend of 4, 7, and 9-month reposados with a little bit of 16-month añejo in there because we need some extra color. And because we don't use additives and we're not color correcting, what do you use to color correct alcohol? Older expressions, right? Which is pretty fun. Someone said, I think a couple of cookie notes in there. Yes, for sure, cookie dough, sugar cookie. That's that nice caramelized sugar from the production method, but also the barrels themselves. So the barrels that we utilize. This is truly the next step in how we are so unique as a brand. Every barrel of ex bourbon that we buy, because we're 99% American oak ex bourbon barrels, right? We have our own master cooper, Inamatitan, who scrapes out and rechars every barrel, which is very fun. Vadim's thinking. I love the thinking caps on. STR. Yeah, so we do a mix of chars. We do light, medium, and heavy. We go that way. We don't use the numbers because it's just easier in tequila. The Mexican crowd doesn't understand 1 char, 2 char, 3 char, 4 char, right? So we do a mix of light, medium, and heavy. This one, 2501, is mostly medium char. And again, a lot of people ask what bourbon barrels to utilize. And I generally say it doesn't matter, right? Because we're taking out their char. But as we know from whiskey, cooperage matters. Tightness of grain, where it's harvested, who builds it. So for us, we typically utilize 4 producers: Four Roses, Claremont, Jack Daniels, and shit. Hold on. Four Roses, Jack Daniels, Claremont, Buffalo Trace. Those are typically the 4 that we utilize as far as our barrels. But again, scraped out and recharred, but the cooperage does matter. So, for example, I've had single barrels that are solely Jack Daniels, solely Claremont, solely Buffalo Trace, Aikidi, solely Four Roses. The cooperage matters. The whiskey doesn't. That's our big point.
So you're mostly using Calvin. I'm assuming from what I hear, everybody loves Calvin cooperage.
Yes, generally. For us it's all about price point. You guys get this,
Of
right?
course.
Would I love to use brand new cooperage? Absolutely. That's a $1,200 bottle of barrel versus a $200 barrel, right?
I
So
don't think you
there's
would
just
want to use brand new cooperage. Like there's something to reuse barrels. I feel like they're better. That's why tequila uses them. That's why I mean, look, bourbon exists to make good whiskey. So bourbon is just a way to season barrels so that the good whiskey. Sorry, I'm not trying to start a fight here.
No, Cooperage people, they make money. It's the 1800s, the law. We completely agree. Cooperage people making money in the United States, 100%. I'm going to grab a glass. I'm going to drink with you guys. Hold on. You're all enjoying too much good tequila without me. I'll have some Rosa with you guys. Uh, Jason shared a file. Oh, I didn't see it. Damn. Oh well. What do you think of the repo? We like the repo? Oh, pick of our barrels. Love that. Why can't I see these? Oh, there we go. Oh, it's all underneath this response. Okay, hold on, Jason. It's loading now. I apologize. Yes, that's the tasting room, the overlooking part of the barrel room. That's not all of our barrels. That's just some, which is pretty cool. All right, Vadim, who's joining us? Who's this?
This is Asti, and she says she really likes the reposado.
Asti, as in Asti Spumanti.
Correct. Yes, you're the first person to get that. Correct. That's exactly her name.
I enjoy wine as well. So
My other cat is Whiskey.
done. Whiskey and Asti. We love that. This is delicious. Was just saying we should seek one out once our Kirkland bottle runs down. Yeah, absolutely. One of you guys ready to go to the Añejo? We should definitely jump in the Añejo next. Super here for that. So I think to comment in general, right, about aged expressions in tequila. Good luck running out of that giant bottle. There you go. That's amazing. Yes, agreed. So I think a lot of the American consumer base has been bamboozled by aged tequila. There's definitely a will, there's a way. Unfortunately, by a lot of the big brands, Casamigos, Don Julio. Thank you, Jane. I completely agree. The American consumer thinks that the older tequila gets, the sweeter it gets, right? But again, going back to the knowledge that all of you lovely folks have, what do we know that an oak barrel does to any product? It dries it out. It extracts sugar. It does not add sugar, right? It might add sugary flavor profiles, but from an actual flavor profile perspective, like mouthfeel, it does not add sugar. And so that's what I think I love most about our añejo, as we jump into that as well, is this is truly an agave drinker's añejo, right? Because it's dry, it's elegant, it's got nuance to it. You get barrel character, but enough of that minerality from the agave that we missed a little bit in the repo. Like you said, that silky roundness, Jane, comes in with the reposado versus when you get to the añejo. So this añejo 2501 is a blend of 13, 14, and 15-month añejos, right? So on average, a year and 2 to a year and 5.
Hey, Derek, don't we have one more repo to do? The number 9 repo?
That's the end.
No, we did number 7 repo, I thought.
Yeah, we'll do the number 9 at the end.
Oh, the end. I'm sorry.
Yes. No, you're good. You're totally good. Yes. That's the Rosa Reposado. That's the Rosa Reposado. We'll do that at the end. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
No, thank you. I appreciate it. That could have been really bad. Speaking of bottle, Drake, at some point, can you tell us about the rope line that wraps around the bottles, what it represents? Love that. Okay, so we'll do a little side tangent here with the barrel, with the bottle itself, right? So I mentioned earlier Colin, who's our master blender and one of our co-founders. He has property in Central California, and right behind his property line is an abandoned gold mine. It's called Hartley's Gold Mine. No relation to Harley Davidson, but you can Google it. It's the same name, right? He was hiking around the mine one day, and he found a bunch of apothecary bottles from the 1800s, 50 mLs, 100 mLs, 200 mLs. He found a bottle in this exact same shape and said, that's the bottle I want our tequila to be in. So we trademarked the bottle shape, blew it up to 750. There we go. The rope itself, that is our reference to all the ties that bind us together, right? Whether it's our family, our friends, the industry of tequila itself, right? A protected denomination of origin product that is thoroughly of Mexico, right? Okay, Jason. All right. You've had some tequila tonight. It's just a reminder, right, of all the bottles, all the things that bring us together. On top of that, that's what the hand means as well. Central Valley, you got it, Tony. The hand in very easy references is the Mesoamerican. Scroll up for the tasting notes or tasting order. Um, the hand is the Mesoamerican healing hand in Mayan mythology. But more than that, for us, we chose the hand because that is a constant reminder for us of how many people touch our brand and have to touch our brand to make it what it is, right? Humidors in the field, harvesting agaves, loading the autoclaves, the ovens we cook our tequila in, working the stills, fermentation. These ropes, that is hand tied. Those are hand tied at the distillery, every single one. The tops, over 12 people touch those over the course of a week in Guadalajara to hand make these lathed bottle tops, right? So it's a constant reminder of we are not alone in this endeavor, and there takes a lot of hands to make Cazcanes what it is. That's funny. Tony, I'm sorry you were late, but happy you're here. Have we had the Añejo? Are we drinking the Añejo right now? Michael, all I can see is you and your amazing bottle selection behind you.
Thank you. Yes, it's amazing, and sometimes I think to myself, "My God, why do I have so many bottles all at the same time?"
Sure, I totally get that. My wife, we got about 500 bottles in our house between wine, beer, and spirits, and they're mostly tucked away because my wife is not a drinker. And so, it's whenever I come home, she's like, "Another bottle," and I'm like, "Excuse me, you should look at other people's collections. I am light compared to other people. Come on." What do you think of the Añejo? Thoughts? You guys have been great so far. What do we got thoughts wise?
I've started charging people for photos of my collection because guys are like, "Can I send this to my wife?" I'm like, "That'll cost you." And then when they're like, "Can I send this to my husband?" I'm like, "It'll cost you."
I
Just like,
love
"Oh my
that.
God, this is insane." I was like, "I know."
I love that. I love that. But yeah, please, everyone, jump in. We got 13 people here. Let's see. Other people's garages. Yeah, Tyler, for sure. Thoughts on the Añejo? I mean, Vadim, you're up here. What you got?
I'm just getting my nose into it. Mine has got a bit of cat hair, which is a little weird. My
Maine
favorite note.
Coon, baby. Maine Coon.
I mean, I'm fairly new to tequila and tasting, getting really starting to do deep dives into tequila, but it's amazing how the barrel kind of rounds everything out. It's not as
Yes.
bright and lively as some of the Blancos and Reposados.
Yep.
I mean, it feels more comforting to a whiskey
Yes.
drinker,
Oh, for sure.
but in the same respect, it's kind of fun having the brightness and jumpiness, of the Blancos.
Of a Blanco. No, and that's what I talk about when whenever I do a lot of whiskey tastings, right? Is we've all had White Dog. We've all had White Lightning. We've all had new make spirits, right? They're generally not great. Like, I've had some that are palatable, but I can honestly say of the like 50 I've tried over my last decade of drinking, I haven't had one where I'm like, damn, I'm gonna bring that home and sip on that all night, right? Like they're aggressive, they're unaged. Versus that's what's fun about tequila, right? Is your base spirit itself has the flavor. But like you said though, Michael, when you get into the age stuff, it just rounds it out. It warms it, it softens it, it tempers it. It makes it more of that hug versus the like slap high five, like, ooh, we're having Blanco, right? Yeah. Medicinal cherry, yes, absolutely cherry for sure. I'm a sucker for cherry. I have a theory that people nice. I have a theory that people hate one of three artificial flavor profiles: grape, orange, or cherry, because of the syrup or the cough medicine they had growing up. So I can't stand grape and orange, but I love cherry because I never had cherry cough syrup. So I love cherry, so yes, I agree. Down for that for sure. Well, while we're hanging out, any questions about tequila? The texture. Hold on. Fresh shortbread. Yes, I completely agree, Jane. Yes. So that shortbread aspect, that's not just the barrel. That's actually the cooking method of our agave. Hawaiian rolls. Yes, agreed. So I didn't get a chance to finish my thought earlier. There's three ways of cooking agave. The typical, not even that. The ancestral method of cooking agave for tequila is an horno, a brick oven, right? Then you have a slightly more modern way, which is called an autoclave, which is basically a steam pressure cooker. Been around for 60 years. It's not new. It's been around for a very long time. It was built by the Mexican train owners who had extra train cars lying around and said we should use these for something. They made autoclaves out of that. And then unfortunately, there's a third way, which is called a diffuser, which we don't talk about because that's bullshit and it's awful. It's terrible. We don't talk about that, right? So we utilize an autoclave. However, there's a very important distinction. We utilize low pressure autoclaves, right? So we're at a right around 1,000 psi, 1 atmosphere, 145 degrees on the low side, 185 on the high side. Our cooking method is a 8 hour cook, 8 hour residual heat, and then 8 hour rest. So a true 24-hour low and slow cooking method. And so that biscuity, that Hawaiian roll, that marzipan sweetness, that's actually coming from the cooking process, not the barrel itself, which is pretty fun. And I love that note in our agaves, which is really fun. You guys have been great, by the way. I love this. I am so down, like engaged, good questions, great comments.
Yeah, we like the nerdy stuff. It's how we roll. Now, I thought it was interesting because I don't always get that shortbread biscuit roll, like
Yep. Yep.
baked good kind of note off of a tequila.
Yes.
And I know that that usually is, as you said, it's from the really super low and slow. Oh, Lorna Doone, go get some walkers for God's sake, Tony. Um, I have a Scottish friend who taught me shortbread, and it's basically like three ingredients and a prayer, and that's that kind of flavor that I got out of this. And I just thought it was so interesting because I don't think I've ever actually caught that,
Yeah.
especially off of an añejo. So it's
Yes. And
nice
I think
to
that's
get it.
hard because no, please go ahead. No, please go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I mean, it's really nice because the coloring is so subtle in the spirit
Yes.
itself. So
Yeah.
you don't expect a caramel kind of note in there, and I'm not getting that at all. But I did get, like lemongrass.
And that's the through fare of the actual agave itself, right?
Mhm.
Making itself present. And our master distiller Don Chico has 45 years in the industry, right? Between he literally started out literally loading autoclaves as a 21-year-old up to being a master distiller. And his whole ideology is we are still drinking agave, right? So as much barrel influence as we are required to have, right? At minimum, a year for añejo, 2 months to a year, for Tony jumped ahead. Um, right? Like as much as we're drinking an aged product, we still want there to be a slight semblance of balance for the base ingredient, which is agave. So yes, that's where that lemongrass is coming through. God, I've had every barrel under the sun. And teakwood fucking sucks. If anyone's had teakwood stuff, it's terrible. Don't ever use teakwood for aging. Ugh, it's awful. Um, but lemongrass, that's truly from the agave, which is pretty fun that it's able to hang on and sit there with us. Well, we might as well. Walkers is great, Tony. We do agree. We might as well jump onto the XA. Let's do the XA, guys. So the XA is the X Añejo is a very fun project for us. This is brand new. Came out about 4 weeks ago. Um, as I talked about earlier, X Añejos are a minimum of 3 years aging up to whatever you want to do. For us, this extra añejo is just over that 3 year mark at 37 months. But what's really fun is it spent its first 36 months, right, 3 years in American oak ex bourbon. But what we did for the last month is we took 6% of the liquid, we pulled that liquid into a stainless steel tank. We took French oak barrels that were previously used for wine. We broke those barrels down into staves. We recharred all four sides of those French oak staves and put those French oak staves in the stainless steel barrel with the 6% liquid for 3 weeks. So this is American oak ex bourbon with a just a tea dipping, dunking of French oak in there as well, which is very fun.
This is my usual
The
comment.
nose is
I could
wild.
wear
I
this one as
completely
a
agree.
perfume. I would wear this one as a perfume.
Yes, exactly. I completely agree. Yeah. I don't want to pigeonhole all you whiskey drinkers into one category, but yes, you guys are going to love the XA. Home Depot wood shopping section. I That was my first thought, Jason, was I literally worked in shop. I was a theater major in college. And so like I literally have been around multiple types of wood. And I was like, who just cut this? Like, please and thank you. Hey, Tyler, there you go. Yes, yes, Jane, we love that. Yeah, the XA is it's pretty fun. I typically am not an extra añejo drinker. Because here's the hard part, right? It's a minimum 3 years in the barrel. You're going to get so much barrel influence. You get a lot of that agave is going to be overrun, regardless of what barrel you utilize, right? I think we've towed the line as much as possible. You get a slight minerality, a slight green apple. It's probably more the French oak. There's a slight earthiness, but in general, a lot of wonderful barrel character, right? And that's just because it's been aged for 3 years. It doesn't matter, right? Like how either new or neutral or old your barrels are. Yes, exactly. There's some nice green apple on there for sure. Right? Like it doesn't matter how old your barrels are, how much they've been used. 3 years in a barrel is oaky. It is what it is, right? So you're gonna overwhelm that agave to a certain extent. But I feel like we played around with it as much as we can. Yes, absolutely noses like a whiskey for sure. Like we've joked around, Wayne, again, my partner and I. Yeah, it is. We've joked around, right? Like, yeah, Tony, greatness, but also just time. Time in a barrel, man. You know that. Time is money. Um, we've joked around, we want to bring, right, like a couple bourbons and whiskeys in those blacked out glass tasting cups, and then randomly throw the XA in there and say, which of these is your favorite whiskey? And see what people say. Like you said from nose, it's hard to differentiate. It really is.
Yeah, on the nose, I would guess like a young rye for sure.
Yes. Oh, that spice note's present from those bourbon barrels, 100%. I wish I was having it with you. Alas, I'm chilling with my Rosa.
The journey we've taken from the Blanco to this is just it's insane. It's a completely different product.
Right?
I
Yeah.
still have to, I still think that the for me the Reposado is my favorite as far as the tequila goes, but this is
Yes.
a spectacular example of a spirit, not necessarily tequila, but it's just got so much on it that
Oh,
it's just good and it's got depth and it's good. You can put it up in a whiskey lineup like you said, but like you don't really taste the agave as much as you do in like the Reposado's got just enough wood influence to give it
yeah.
complexity to take some of the edges off of the agave. Um, but damn, fuck, I'm talking and I'm talking smack and I just keep it's developing and it's so damn good. God damn
No,
it.
it's really good. It's really, really good. Jay just called out. So, as much as I said earlier, I do love Isla. Honestly, I'm a weirdo. I'm not a big Lagavulin and Lafroig fan. I think they're over. I think they're over. They're overpeated. It's fine. People like them. It's fine. They're well made. They're not my skew. However, Jay called out Campbellton. I am a massive Campbellton. God, please and thank you, and twice on Sundays. So yes, I can see some fun Campbellton notes on here as well. So I just had to call that out. I love Campbellton, 100%. Yes. It's light, like taking a sip of water. Yes, I agree. Yes. It's not heavy. It certainly has more barrel character than everything we've had at this point, right? But it's not a heavy product. Like just either click the hands up or just say like a yes in the chat. Who here has had Tears of Llorona? Tony, yes. Anybody else?
Michael had his hand up. So yeah, that's at least.
Hell. So Tears of Llorona, for those of you who have not, yeah. So Don, you've heard of it. So Tears of Llorona, for those of you who've not tried it, is a very unique extra añejo. It is aged in 3 different casks: Scotch, sherry, and bourbon casks, for 5 years in totality. Yes, it is a $280, $300 bottle. It was a whale for me for many years because I have an ideology when it comes to alcohol. I generally don't spend more than $200 in a bottle because to me, I'm still drinking it, right? Like I get the first growth Bordeaux's, I get, Chateau de Cam, I get all these crazy, same distillery as Don Fulano, yes, but different master distiller. Yes. Um, I get DRC for Burgundy. I get the rarity, I get the uniqueness. I've had them all. It's fine. But price point to value is just is strange for me, right? So I saved up for a bottle of Tears of Llorona. I bought a bottle for the first time 3 or 4 years ago. I will never buy a bottle again. And that's not an indication of quality. I think it's a quality product. But to me, it is so oaky. It is so dry. You officially lost any indication that that bottle is tequila. And as we've all said, this extra añejo, right? It definitely tastes like a whiskey. But you can get a little tiny bit of agave there, right? You can still get it. Versus Tears of Llorona, that might as well be a scotch. It's delicious. It's super well made. I love who did it. It is so aggressively oaky. And Tony, I completely agree with you. I'll be the first one to say, our nom, 1614, that's not my favorite nom. Why would I choose a favorite nom that makes pantalones and tres agaves? Tres agaves is fine, but like, why would I do that? Cascaween, 1123. That is my favorite hands down. I love their stuff. 100%. Glad you called that out. Isn't over oaked. Yes, exactly. Yes, completely agree. Again, I love Tears. I'm blanking on Gonzalez. I'm blanking on the guy who's in charge of Tears. Enrique Fonseca, who's the master distiller there. It's a really well made product. For me, I still want to taste a modicum of agave in my product. And for them, it's lost. It's super well made. It's a very fun product. Not on my shelf anymore. And that's okay. Everyone's palate's different. All right, Michael, we are to our last reposado, which is weird, but we're coming back around to it. Ah, yeah, Herman Gonzalez. Thank you, Tony. Yes, 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 yes. Thank you. This is a very fun. I'm sad that we're at our last product already. This is sad. Vadim, you sure you got any more hiding around?
I knew you shorted us. I felt like we should have had 8. I have questions. There's apparently you guys have nuestras raíces. Is that a thing?
Yeah, good luck finding that.
I got a case right here. I just didn't share with you guys. Sorry, my bad. The only time I've ever seen it is on the World Wide Web.
Yes, yeah. I know a couple. Oh, kill Karen. Oh. Okay, but the problem is, all of you wonderful folks calling out these whiskeys that you all have at home. I'm in a hotel. I don't have these with me. That's not fair. I want to drink them with you guys. Come on.
There's a bar downstairs.
Yeah. Oh, believe me. I looked at the bar. It's not good.
10 bottles. Take your pick.
Tony, have you ever been to a hotel bar that has a decent selection? It's so rare. So rare.
One.
Yeah, but they're not. None of them are going to compare to what we're tasting.
No.
Oh God, Jake, don't even give me that. I'll skip that. But yes, our last expression for the night, which is again, sadly, our last expression, that is going to be our Rosa Reposado. So this is what's fun. Rosa is not an official expression as far as the CRT or the Norma, which is the legal rules for tequila production. It's not in those yet. But typically, if you see Rosa on any bottle of tequila, typically that means it's been aged solely in wine barrels or X wine casks, right? So I chose this bottle for you guys because I think it's one of our more fun expressions. And as whiskey drinkers, I think you'll appreciate this, knowing sherry, knowing Madeira, knowing port cask, right? So what you're having in front of you right now, the Rosa Reposado number 9, again, going back to our early education, number 9 means 100 proof. This was aged for 82 days in Napa Cabernet French oak barrels exclusively. It was a blend of 50 different barrels, right? So I do know the producers. I can't tell you because it's a blend, but a bunch of different producers, all across the board in Napa. But again, Napa, Cab, French oak, wine barrels. 82 days, 100 proof. Salute to the Rosa. There we go, Jane. All right. Well, Michael, I'm happy it's your hometown, but as a very big wino, I'm over Napa wines, man. It's all over extracted. It's all blackberry, blueberry jam at 15%. Nah, man, I'm over it.
I think you can still find some good ones, especially the smaller producers. I mean, I've got friends.
Oh,
I mean,
I don't
literally,
disagree. Right? Chapelet,
yeah,
Pina, yes, 100%, yes. But your Silver Oak, your
yeah,
Camus,
yeah. I
no.
live in the Sassoon Valley, which is just
Ooh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
yeah. And then grew up, and then a lot of times, if we're going to go wine tasting, we go over to Sonoma. It's
Petaluma Gap, some of the best
yeah,
Pinots in the world.
yeah, yep.
But I will die. I will die on the hill. The best wine tasting region right now in California is Los Olivos, Santa Barbara. 100%. 100%. Okay, so Tony, I would have said Paso 5 years ago. It's too hot. It's over extracted. They are just cooking all those grapes. They're not bad. There's some wonderful producers. L'Aventure, too expensive, but phenomenal Paso wine, right? But Justin and Dow and Austin Hope, nah, man, nah, no, 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 no. No. Come on, you just said those. No, no, they're fruit bombs. They got nothing. They got no depth. They got no complexity. Like I said earlier, sacrifice smoothness for complexity. Come on. No, I will say, Paso has amazing food too. Orin Swift. Okay, yeah. OG Orin Swift, Tony, 15 years ago, phenomenal. Amazing. Orin Swift nowadays, it's adult grape juice. Tony's lost all his street cred. Rip. I gotta say, you guys are awesome. This has truly been a wonderful
Before we
experience.
start,
This is
before we lose anyone,
yes.
I do want to invite everyone to turn on their camera for just a second. Hopefully, we can get Tim and Jay. Bring Alicia back. There you go. We need everyone on camera. Tyler, there we go. Tim, come back. Jason, Don Mateo, come on, join us for a second. Do I need to call Tim? I'm going to do it. Somebody go to his house, knock on his door. All right.
Tyler, I
We're just gonna
appreciate you
take.
actually have the full headset. I love that. Tyler's killing it.
Oh, he's doing tech support while we're on the call. He does the accent and everything.
Hello, Tequila. Nice to meet you.
Right. Drake, thank you so much for taking the evening and spending the evening with us and sharing this wonderful spirit and the education. Thank you to the group for joining tonight on the live. So we have a tradition here where we take a second to raise our glass, smile to the camera, and just do a group photo toast. So cheers to everyone. Got it.
Salud. Thank you guys. Seriously.
Thank you. Before you leave, I have a poll for everyone that I think you're gonna.
Oh, I got all the time in the world.
Awesome. I'm curious to see what everybody's favorite pour of the night was. I know it's a long list, but you got to pick one. And then for you, you're gonna have to guess what you think the group picked as their favorite.
Oh, wait a second.
You can vote too, by the way.
Oh, I already did.
Okay,
I was
good.
first.
Good.
You were talking about Campbelltown. This Rosa on the nose, you're getting that funky, cheesy.
Yep. Jane, my favorite child is my actual child, my 14-month-old daughter, Aurora. So yes, that's my actual favorite child.
Oh,
Congrats.
Thank you. It's the best. She started walking about a month ago. We're running now. It's a lot. It's nuts. It's great. Actually, wait, hold on. I just thought about this. This is a great story. You'll appreciate this. So, my wife decided we were in Berlin a couple weeks back for BCB Berlin, right, as an actual job, right, for work. My wife goes, "Let's go as a family," and I'm like, "With our month-old daughter, okay, or sorry, year and a month-old daughter, let's do that. That'll be great." It was fine. It ended up being fine, right?
Mhm.
But the day we're leaving, I had brought a flask with me, a flask. And I had actually Monte Agave from Cazcanes. I had some Añejo in there, and a tiny bit left. And my daughter's playing. And I look over at her. She had managed to get it open, and there was like some drops left over. And so she literally was like, and I was like, "Ooh!"
Nice.
gotta start them young. Yeah.
Yeah.
Your daughter was
Yeah, that
probably
was the
like,
thing. I
yeah,
felt
this is the
bad.
number seven.
Her
I was
face
hoping for
was,
the
she
number
was,
nine. Boo.
yes.
All right, the group has
Number
voted.
7 one.
What do you think was the
Number
group
7
pick?
repo.
You said number seven repo, right?
7 repo.
Okay. The results are in,
Yeah.
and the winner is the two repos are tied for first place.
All right. I'll still take it.
There you go. Yeah, you first place are the two repos tied, and then second place is the Blanco number 10 and the Extra Añejo. Very different profiles. Very interesting. This is so
Hey.
cool.
Got some number 10 fans out there. Yes.
Mm.
Love
Him
that.
just educating whoever's behind the scenes there. He's like, this is tequila. This is the best. See, he's telling everyone.
Is everyone's palate's unique, right? Everyone has their own flavor profile that they appreciate. I don't ever want to, like, even like I mentioned earlier, with the spirits, the one small category of alcohol I don't enjoy, I will still evaluate it from the perspective of, is this well made or not?
Yeah.
Right. And like I am not that person who shits on something because I personally don't like it. Now I can tell if it's poorly made, in which case, yes, you will have my full vitriol. I have no problem pooping on a brand if you're cutting corners. But if you're doing it the right way, when you're added free, and you're, regardless of price point or this, it's like as long as you are trying to make a product that is respectful and worthy of a protected denomination of origin, again, product tequila, right? I'm on board. I don't care. The pie is big enough for all these brands who fight over the crumbs. It's like the pie is big enough. Let's support each other. Whiskey's the same way, right? Like you guys get it. It's all these brands who just like fight and compete. As long as you're doing it the right way, there's room enough for everyone. There really is.
So what should we be on the lookout for? What's coming out of Cascanes that we should be excited for? Other than obviously picking up the bottles we've tried, what's coming our way?
Hold on. I was using it as to prop up my lamp to make me taller. This is brand new.
Hoven. And we lost him. Oh no, that's perfect timing. That's pretty brilliant. I just tried to spotlight him and he disappeared.
It's
the
nice
best
to
way to
see.
tell.
I went on Total Wine. It's nice to see that most of their stuff is on Total Wine.
Yeah, and I've heard they've dropped it by like $10. I bet you his phone died because obviously he was doing this on his phone. His phone may have died. Um, well, that was fun. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I know we did the full lineup, so that's good. And if we have to hit pause or stop the recording, those watching at home will definitely get it all. Other than the sneak peek, which for those of you watching at home, he totally came back and gave us all the inside scoop, but you should have been here. So, right, that's what happened. I'm gonna hit pause on the record and we'll just hang out for a little bit. If hopefully he comes back, I'll restart the recording, but we can just hang out.
Okay, perfect. Let me grab the bottle too. Hold on.
Yeah. Don't unplug your phone.
No, it's plugged in. You can see me in repose where my charger is. So yes. So I neglected to mention earlier in our styles. So Hoven is an actual truly certified expression for tequila. Um, Hoven refers to a blend that is mostly blanco. So for example, it's just like whiskey, right? So for example, if you have an age statement on your whiskey, it's always the youngest age statement, right? So, for example, with Hovens, it's all Blanco, or the majority is Blanco. So, for ours, our brand new Hoven just came out about 3 weeks ago. This is a true blend of all four expressions. This is Blanco, Reposado, Añejo, Extra Añejo. The blend percentage, if you guys want care to know, this is 59% Blanco, 13% Repo, 26% Añejo, and 2% Extra Añejo. And that's what's so fun, right? Is this is truly a blend of all four expressions. It is the best of all worlds. It has a lot of that Blanco, agave, minerality, marzipan, citrus notes we talked about earlier, pepper. But you get each hint of all of those age expressions, right? The roundness from the Reposado, the dryness from the Añejo, the XA barrel. Again, even though it's 2%, you get that nice whiskey barrel. And you can see the color, right? Like it's got that nice, like just slight hay gold, honestly looks like some Octomore to me. Like that's like a 13.1 to me. Looks very similar, which is pretty cool. So Hoven's brand new for us. We're very excited for that. But my thing with Cazcanes is we are constantly trying to evolve, to add new expressions, to add new barrel aging, while being thoughtful, right? Like there's those brands that just age shit, right? Like, oh, let's throw it in a rum barrel just cause. We don't do that. We think about what we're gonna age it in. That now does that mean we're gonna stick to bourbon for the rest of our lives as Cascadas? No. I really want to do an Amaro finish. I would love an Amaro finish. I think it'd be really cool, right? My white whale is a chartreuse finish, right? I think a green chartreuse number 10 will be the best tequila on the planet, right? That being said, though, we're not going to do it for the sake of doing it. We're going to do it because it makes sense flavor profile wise with what we have, with the water source, with the agaves, with our production methods. So you said, what are we going to look out for? Everything, right? Like we're down for weird stuff. Like you have no idea what's going to pop on down the road. There's some fun stuff in the pipeline. We'll see what happens.
Nice. I see the store or we were just talking about a local store here in SoCal. They have a Rosa Blanco. So
Yes.
Blanco is anything up to 2 months, right?
Correct. 2 months and under. So, for example, who here knows the brand? Oh shit, Tierra. Oh
I
God,
know the
now.
brand of shit.
Oh, Tierra del Sueño. Anybody? Yeah. Yep. Jane knows. So Tierra del Sueño literally did a 59-day age, 23-hour, and 59-minute Blanco. Right. So just short of that 2-month mark. So it can be anything. Exactly. Yes, Jane. They did it. They did it. Tierra del Sueño. They did it. Yep. It's good. It's fun. I think it's unique. But again, I did they do that for the flavor profile or for just being able to say they did a 59-month, 23-hour, whatever, 59-second, Blanco, right? So For us, it always comes back to what is this going to do for our flavor profile? What is this going to do for our brand? What is this going to do for the people that understand Cazcanes and love it as what it is? So the Blanco, so Vadim, you mentioned the Blanco, right? So this all came out of two single barrels from 2023 for Rosas, which turned into single expressions in 2024, a Rosa Blanco and a Rosa Repo. So the Rosa Blanco is 31 days. The Rosa Repo, which we had tonight, 82 days. That's the only difference, is just the amount of time in the barrel. I I personally like the Repo more. That's why I chose it. We have the Blanco. I thought about giving you the Blanco. For your crew, I thought you'd enjoy the Repo more because while I enjoy the Blanco, to me the Blanco is a little on the astringent side. A little Bowmore, I wouldn't say like old school Macallan, like Glenmorangie, not cheap Glenmorangie, but like a little bit of that light Glenmorangie side, right? A little stringent, little paint thinner, just because it's younger, right? I think that the extra month and a half in the barrel really adds the complexity for the Reposado.
Yeah, and I noticed most of your aged options are all lower proof, and you said you're coming out with higher proof.
So we'll have single barrel expressions. So
Okay,
like we've done a bunch of those, right? Repo Añejo, Extra Añejo, single barrels for retailers, for groups, right? Like down the road, even you guys as the Tasting Society, like we could send you samples and you could pick a single barrel, right? Those would be number nines. Every single barrel we do are always 100 proof, always. Yeah.
gotcha. Okay, fair enough. Wow, I never knew that there was a top strength for bottling tequila because I
Yep.
I know every time I've gone to Mexico, the locals there are like, yeah, you have better tequila in America than we do in Mexico.
Yes, you're not wrong. Yep,
Yeah.
exactly. Yep.
And our taxes are lower. I got to visit
Oh,
Fortaleza, and it was more expensive to buy a bottle at the distillery than here.
oh, well, maybe not for the Liza, but like, yes. But like, for example, we only started distro in Mexico last summer, and we've been around for 8 years. The the taxation and regulation laws on tequila production in Mexico are higher than they are for the United States. It's wild. It's absolutely wild. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, this was absolutely awesome. Thank you so much for sharing this with us. Really opened our eyes. This was really a good education. It's been too long since we featured agave, so thank you for bringing this back to our forefront. We appreciate you.
No, I am so happy to be part of this, you guys. Like I said, education is the name of the game for me. I love it. I'm an open book. I think that transparency is the best way to lead people to education, right? Like there is no secret, expensive or hidden doors with Cazcanes, right? We are as upfront, as transparent as possible, added free, organic, kosher, the whole thing since the beginning. Again, like I said, three ingredients: water, agave, yeast, nothing else. I'm just happy I got a wonderful, again, I really love having whiskey people or rum people or outside tequila people experience Cascanas because I think it's such a wonderful product as a base spirit. But I think it leads itself to to show well in other categories. And you guys were all welcoming and receptive. And again, I also love the fact you were all engaged. Great questions, great responses, great notes. That makes me happiest. Seriously, you guys were phenomenal. I love this. This was awesome.
Awesome. Thanks, Drake. And if you're in town, December 6th, we're having our Friendsgiving event. We'd love to have you join us.
Yes, absolutely.
Awesome.
Perfect.
Awesome.
Well, hey, appreciate you guys. Have a wonderful night and salute the Cascanes and save that Campbellton for sure.
Thank you. Have a safe trip.
Thank you guys. Salud.
Salute.